and what are men attracted to, what are women attracted to. Now, before we get into this textbook, we got to be a little intelligent in calling out the conflation between attractive and arousal. It's easier to think of arousal as an involuntary reflex and attraction as a choice. And so we're going to take a look at what they say, because this looks like textbook on Introduction to Human Sexuality. So this is what they're teaching in the school. So let's take a look at what they say. And in this, their learning objectives are going to be summarizing the variables that lead to initial attraction between people, outline the variables that lead us to perceive someone as physically attractive, describe the ways that similarity and complementarity influence our liking for others, define the concept of mere exposure and explain how proximity influences liking, and provide a very brief overview of evolutionary research into attraction. So, for example, for men, a woman that has, let's say, plentiful mammary glands, but she was not good looking. Most men would be aroused by that woman. They just wouldn't be attracted to her. See the difference? Men are visual creatures. Maybe she is less than good looking, but she has a nice body. That is arousing to most men. However, they just might not find it attractive. So there's a distinction between arousal and attraction. And I think it's smart to call that out. I think it's intelligent to call that out whenever we see it. So it's easier to think of it like that. Attraction as a choice and arousal as an involuntary reflex. What do the sexes like in the other sex that they just naturally are aroused by? Again, attraction and arousal are two different things. And most people like to use both of them interchangeably, and they are different in my opinion. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at some of the text in this and give our thoughts on the other side. Now, we're going to start physical attractiveness. Although it may seem inappropriate or shallow to admit it, and although it is certainly not the only determinant of liking, people are strongly influenced, at least in initial encounters, by the physical attractiveness of their partners. Elaine Walster and her colleagues arranged a field study in which college boys and girls were randomly paired at a computer dance. After the partners had danced and talked for a couple hours, they were interviewed separately about their own preferences and characteristics, as well as the perceptions of their date. Walster and her colleagues found that the only important determinant of participants' liking for their date was his or her physical attractiveness. None of the other characteristics, even the perceived intelligence of the partner, mattered. All right, that line there is important. I'm going to go ahead and highlight that line. It says that the participants' liking for their date was his or her physical attractiveness. None of the other characteristics, even the perceived intelligence of the partner, mattered. So for all those women that like to tell you, I like a nice guy and I like a guy that's smart, when they give you that nonsense, just know that's exactly what it is, nonsense. Because as this study says, that none of the characteristics, even the perceived intelligence of the partner matter. And you know, women, they love to say that. Oh, I like a smart guy. If that guy is smart, attractive, and he has other characteristics. This also applies to men. We already know that. Attractiveness is the first thing, but it may also surprise some men and women that women also have to be attractive first. Women will go on about all this nonsense about the icing on the cake without actually giving you the ingredients for the cake. No other show on YouTube is doing what we're doing. Hit that like button. We're breaking down truths all over the media here. So none of the other characteristics, even the perceived intelligence of the partner matter. That's the first thing. And when they say physical attractiveness isn't attraction. Physical attractiveness is more akin to arousal. These are the first things that we see. For men, it's the physical attractiveness of the woman and other characteristics that men may find arousing, such as youth and fertility. Now, for women, that is physical attractiveness, status, resources, etc. So it's just a different starting point, but there is a similar shared interest in that starting point, which is physical attractiveness. For both men and women, you both have to pass that bar of physically attractive. Are you physically attractive to me? And that could differ from person to person, but physical attractiveness is the starting point.